China's Belt and Road Initiative, 10 groundbreaking projects set to transform global trade by 2025. Introduction. The Belt and Road Initiative (BRI), launched by President Xi Jinping in 2013, marks a significant turning point in global trade and infrastructure development. Celebrating its 10th anniversary in 2023, the BRI has evolved from a project aimed at addressing China's economic surplus to a global infrastructure and investment program encompassing over $1 trillion in projects across more than 150 countries. The initiative comprises two primary components: the Silk Road economic belt focusing on land connectivity and the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road enhancing maritime trade routes. This report outlines 10 groundbreaking projects expected to transform global trade by 2025. 1. China-Pakistan Economic Corridor (CPEC). CPEC is one of the most ambitious projects under the BRI, involving investments exceeding $60 billion. It connects Gwadar Port in Pakistan to China's Xinjiang region, integrating transportation and energy infrastructures. The project includes highways, railways and power plants, aiming to enhance trade and energy security for both nations. By 2025, CPEC is expected to significantly reduce transit times and costs for goods moving between China, Pakistan, and beyond. 2. Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway, Indonesia. The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway, inaugurated in late 2023, exemplifies the rapid advancement of transportation infrastructure in Southeast Asia. This 142-kilometer line reduces travel time from over 3 hours to just 45 minutes, revolutionizing connectivity between Indonesia's capital and its third-largest city. The project represents China's commitment to exporting high-speed rail technology and is a critical component of Indonesia's broader infrastructure development goals. 3. Mombasa-Nairobi Railway, Kenya. The Mombasa-Nairobi Standard Gauge Railway (SGR) is a flagship project of the BRI in Africa, enhancing trade logistics in East Africa. Opened in 2017. This railway has significantly cut transport costs and time for goods moving from the coast to the inland regions. By 2025, the SGR is expected to facilitate increased trade volumes, linking Kenya with neighboring countries and enhancing regional integration. 4. Gwadar Port Development, Pakistan. As the centerpiece of CPEC, Gwadar Port is being developed into a major shipping and trade hub in the Arabian Sea. The strategic location offers access to critical maritime routes, and its development is expected to boost Pakistan's economy and increase trade with the Middle East, Africa, and beyond. By 2025, Gwadar is projected to handle significant cargo traffic, transforming it into a key player in global trade. 5. Korgos Gateway, Kazakhstan. The Korgos Gateway, located on the border between Kazakhstan and China, is a pivotal logistics hub on the new Silk Road. It facilitates the movement of goods between Asia and Europe, significantly reducing transit times and costs. By 2025, the Korgos Gateway is expected to handle millions of tons of cargo annually, contributing to increased trade volumes and economic growth in the region. 6. Digital Silk Road initiatives. The BRI is not confined to physical infrastructure, it also encompasses digital connectivity projects. Notable initiatives include satellite communication networks and fiber optic cables, enhancing internet access in rural areas across various countries. For instance, a satellite TV project in Mozambique aims to improve media access for over 1,000 villages. By 2025, these digital initiatives are expected to bridge the digital divide and foster economic development through improved connectivity. 7. Trans-Eurasian Belt Development. This ambitious project aims to create a transport corridor linking China with Europe through Central Asia. It involves the construction of railways, roads, and pipelines across multiple countries, facilitating the movement of goods and energy resources. By 2025, the Trans-Eurasian Belt is anticipated to streamline trade routes and enhance economic cooperation among participating nations, reshaping trade dynamics in the region. 8. The China-Laos Railway. Scheduled for completion in 2023, this railway connects Kunming in China to Vientiane in Laos. The project aims to enhance regional connectivity and trade between Southeast Asia and China. By 2025, the China-Laos Railway is expected to facilitate increased trade flows and tourism, significantly impacting the economies of both countries. 9. China-Europe Railway Express. The China-Europe Railway Express service has expanded rapidly since its inception, providing a crucial link for goods traveling between China and Europe. By 2025, this rail service is expected to enhance trade efficiency and reduce reliance on maritime transport, offering a faster alternative for businesses engaged in international trade. 10. Green investment projects. In response to sustainability concerns, the BRI has increasingly focused on green development principles. Projects such as renewable energy initiatives and eco-friendly infrastructure are being prioritized. By 2025, these green projects are expected to contribute to sustainable development goals in participating countries, balancing economic growth with environmental stewardship. Challenges and critiques. Despite the ambitious scope of the BRI, it faces significant challenges. Critics argue that many projects lack transparency and can lead to unsustainable debt burdens for recipient countries. Instances of debt trap diplomacy have raised concerns, particularly in countries like Sri Lanka and Zambia. Additionally, the quality of infrastructure projects has been questioned, with allegations of corruption and poor execution surfacing in various instances. Geopolitical implications. The BRI has reshaped global geopolitics, enhancing China's influence in developing regions while raising concerns among Western nations. The U.S. has sought to counter the BRI through initiatives like the Build Back Better World B3W. Although it struggles to match China's financial commitments, the BRI's expansion has also sparked tensions with countries like India, which views it as a strategic challenge. Conclusion. As the BRI approaches its 10th anniversary, its impact on global trade and infrastructure development is undeniable. The 10 groundbreaking projects outlined above are set to transform trade dynamics by 2025, enhancing connectivity and economic cooperation across regions. However, managing criticisms regarding debt sustainability and project quality will be crucial for the initiative's long-term success. The BRI represents both an economic opportunity and a geopolitical strategy, with profound implications for the future of global trade. This overview highlights the BRI's transformative potential while acknowledging the complexities and challenges it faces in a rapidly evolving global landscape. Counterintuitive information on China's Belt and Road Initiative BRI. 1. Transformation from surplus dumping to a political tool. While the BRI was initially designed as a solution to China's surplus production issues, particularly in steel and cement, it has morphed into a geopolitical strategy. This shift suggests that the BRI's true purpose may not be purely economic but also strategic in nature, aimed at extending China's influence globally, which contrasts with the common perception that its primary goal is merely to enhance trade. 2. Debate on debt traps. The narrative surrounding the BRI often focuses on the debt trap diplomacy that China allegedly employs. However, the reality is more nuanced. Many countries willingly engage in BRI projects despite knowing the risks involved, as they lack alternative financing options. This complicates the straightforward interpretation of BRI as a predatory economic strategy. 3. Small projects over large infrastructure. The anticipated shift from large-scale projects to small and elegant initiatives might appear as a sign of failure or economic constraint. However, this change could be an adaptive strategy, allowing China to maintain influence without the risks associated with massive investments that can lead to unsustainable debt in host countries. 4. Corruption and quality control. Critics argue that BRI projects often lead to corruption and poor quality. Yet some nations that have engaged with the BRI have also utilized the opportunity to negotiate better terms or have complained about Chinese contractors. This suggests that while issues exist, the relationship is not as one-sided as often portrayed. some countries leverage their engagement for better outcomes. 5. Geopolitical calculus over economic gain. The idea that BRI investments are purely about economic gain overlooks the substantial geopolitical calculations involved. Countries that are strategically significant to China, such as those in Southeast Asia or with rich resources, may receive more favorable treatment, indicating a prioritization of political over economic interests. 6. Sustainability initiatives amid criticism. Despite facing criticism for environmental impacts, China has introduced green investment principles within the BRI framework. This seemingly contradictory action highlights that China is aware of the global push for sustainability and is attempting to align its investments with these norms, which contradicts the notion that BRI is entirely detrimental to the environment. 7. Emerging markets as development opportunities. The BRI is often criticized for creating dependency through debt. However, many developing nations view the BRI as a chance to modernize their infrastructure and boost economic growth, suggesting a more collaborative perspective than often assumed. This indicates a mutual benefit rather than a purely exploitative relationship. 8. The role of technology transfer. In many BRI projects, there is a significant focus on technology transfers, especially in countries like Indonesia. This aspect challenges the perception that the BRI is solely about infrastructure financing, as it reflects an underlying strategy of fostering technological dependency and skill development in host nations. 9. Resilience of BRI despite criticism. Despite various challenges including debt crises and political backlash in some countries, the BRI continues to attract new participants. This resilience undermines the narrative that the BRI is failing or losing influence, indicating that many countries still see value in China's investment. 10. Western responses and limitations. The inability of the West to propose a coherent and competitive alternative to the BRI, such as the Build Back Better World initiative, suggests that the BRI's framework for investment is appealing to many developing nations. This highlights a counterintuitive scenario where Western criticism may not translate into viable alternatives, allowing China to maintain its competitive edge in global infrastructure development. These counterintuitive aspects of the BRI reflect a complex interplay of economic, political, and social factors that challenge simplistic interpretations of China's global strategy. China's Belt and Road Initiative, significant overlooked aspects and their implications. As the Belt and Road Initiative BRI celebrates its 10th anniversary, it has garnered significant attention for its scale and ambition in reshaping global trade routes and economic landscapes. While many analyses focus on the key projects and investments, certain critical aspects often get overlooked which hold profound significance for the future of global economic relations, geopolitical power dynamics, and environmental sustainability. 1. Debt diplomacy and debt trap concerns. One of the most contentious aspects of the BRI is the concern regarding debt diplomacy. Critics argue that China's loans to developing countries could lead to unsustainable debt levels, effectively creating a dependency that allows China to exert political influence. This phenomenon has been evident in countries like Sri Lanka, where the inability to repay loans for infrastructure projects resulted in the leasing of Hambantota Port to a Chinese company for 99 years. Such instances raise alarm over the potential for China to leverage debt as a tool for geopolitical gain. The significance of this concern lies in its implications for global power structures. As countries in dire need of infrastructure financing turn to China, they may inadvertently cede some degree of sovereignty and decision-making power. This could lead to a shift in the global balance of power, especially in regions traditionally influenced by Western nations. Understanding this dynamic is crucial for countries considering BRI participation, as it fosters a nuanced view of economic cooperation that transcends mere financial transactions. 2. Environmental impact and sustainability initiatives. While projects like the CPEC and high-speed railways are often highlighted, the environmental implications of the BRI are frequently underreported. Infrastructure projects can lead to deforestation, biodiversity loss, and increased carbon emissions, raising questions about the sustainability of China's global investment strategy. Although China has launched the green investment principles to address these issues, the actual implementation and enforcement of such initiatives are often lacking. The significance here is twofold. First, as global awareness of climate change grows, countries involved in the BRI may face domestic and international backlash over environmental degradation linked to these projects. Second, China's commitment to green practices is crucial for international legitimacy and soft power. If China fails to address environmental concerns effectively, it could undermine its efforts to position itself as a leader in global sustainability efforts, particularly in the context of the Paris Agreement and other international climate accords. 3. Geopolitical tensions and soft power dynamics. The BRI is not just an economic endeavor, it is a pivotal part of China's broader strategy to enhance its soft power and geopolitical reach. The initiative has led to increased tensions with countries like the United States and India, which view the BRI as a means for China to expand its influence. However, the responses to the BRI have also unveiled the potential for new alliances and partnerships that could reshape global politics. For instance, countries that seek to balance their relationships between China and the West may find themselves in a difficult position. This dynamic is significant because it highlights a shift from a unipolar world dominated by the US to a multipolar landscape where regional powers assert their interests. As countries navigate these complexities, the BRI's role as both a tool for economic development and a geopolitical chess piece becomes increasingly evident. 4. Shift towards smaller projects and local benefits. In response to criticism regarding debt sustainability and project viability, China has indicated a pivot towards small and elegant projects rather than large-scale infrastructure investments. This shift is significant as it reflects China's adaptation to the realities of BRI implementation. Smaller projects may focus on local needs such as healthcare, education, and technology, potentially yielding immediate benefits for local populations. The importance of this trend lies in its potential to redefine the narrative surrounding the BRI. By prioritizing local projects that address immediate community needs, China may improve its image and foster goodwill in host countries. This could mitigate some of the backlash against perceived neo-colonial practices and enhance the overall effectiveness of the BRI as a development tool. 5. Technological integration and digital Silk Road. The BRI encompasses not only physical infrastructure but also digital connectivity through initiatives like the Digital Silk Road. This aspect is often overlooked in favor of more traditional infrastructure projects. The push for digital infrastructure could lead to enhanced economic opportunities for developing nations but also raises concerns over data sovereignty, surveillance, and dependency on Chinese technology. The significance of the Digital Silk Road lies in its potential to shape the future of global digital governance. As countries integrate Chinese technology into their infrastructure, they may become more susceptible to Chinese influence over data and cybersecurity standards. This dynamic is crucial for understanding the broader implications of the BRI, particularly in a world increasingly reliant on digital connectivity. Conclusion. The Belt and Road Initiative, while often celebrated for its ambitious infrastructure projects, encapsulates a complex interplay of economic, environmental, and geopolitical factors that warrant deeper scrutiny. The implications of debt diplomacy, environmental sustainability, geopolitical tensions, the pivot towards smaller projects, and the integration of digital connectivity are critical for understanding the BRI's potential impact on global relations. As countries navigate their involvement in the BRI, they must consider these often overlooked aspects to ensure that their engagement aligns with their long-term strategic interests. The future of the BRI will not only shape China's role on the global stage but also redefine the contours of international cooperation and competition in the years to come. The Belt and Road Initiative (BRI) has significantly impacted global trade and geopolitical dynamics since its inception in 2013. Here are 4 valuable points for in-depth analysis and discussion regarding the BRI and its implications. 1. Geopolitical influence and soft power expansion. The BRI serves as a pivotal tool for China to enhance its geopolitical influence and assert its soft power globally. By investing in infrastructure projects across Asia, Africa, and Europe, China is not only creating trade routes but also establishing strategic partnerships and dependencies. The BRI's expansion into regions historically dominated by Western powers, such as Africa and Central Asia, reflects China's desire to reshape global trade networks in its favor. This geopolitical strategy is evident in projects like the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor (CPEC), which connects Gwadar Port in Pakistan to China's Xinjiang region and symbolizes China's commitment to its strategic ally. The investment of over $60 billion in CPEC highlights China's willingness to support countries that align with its political objectives, thus fostering a network of allies that may support Beijing's stance on key issues such as Taiwan and human rights. Discussion points. How does the BRI alter the balance of power in regions traditionally influenced by the US and Europe? What are the implications of increased Chinese influence for local governance and political stability in recipient countries? How can other global powers effectively respond to China's expansion of soft power through the BRI? 2. Economic implications and debt sustainability. While the BRI aims to boost economic development through infrastructure investments, it has also raised concerns regarding debt sustainability among participating countries. Critics argue that many BRI projects lead to unsustainable debt burdens, creating debt traps for nations that struggle to repay Chinese loans. Countries like Sri Lanka and Zambia have experienced significant financial distress linked to BRI projects, prompting fears of economic colonization. China's approach to financing, often characterized by opaque terms and high interest rates, has fostered skepticism about the long-term viability of BRI investments. The shift towards small and elegant projects indicates a recognition of these concerns, yet the overarching issue of debt sustainability remains critical. Discussion points. What measures can be taken to ensure that BRI financing does not result in unsustainable debt for developing countries? How might the global community address the financial and ethical implications of China's lending practices? Can the BRI's economic model be adapted to prioritize sustainable development alongside infrastructure growth? 3. Environmental sustainability and green development. The environmental impact of BRI projects has come under scrutiny, particularly as many initiatives involve fossil fuel infrastructure and have potential consequences for climate change. However, there has been a concerted effort in recent years to align the BRI with green development principles. The introduction of the green investment principles and initiatives aimed at reducing carbon footprints suggest a growing awareness of environmental responsibilities. China's position as a leader in renewable energy technology presents an opportunity for the BRI to transition towards more sustainable practices. Investments in renewable energy projects and green technologies could redefine the narrative around the BRI and enhance its reputation on the global stage. Discussion points. How can the BRI integrate sustainable practices into its existing framework without compromising its economic objectives? What role do international organizations play in promoting environmental sustainability within BRI projects? How can recipient countries leverage BRI investments to foster green development and combat climate change? 4. Technological integration and digital Silk Road. The Belt and Road Initiative is not limited to traditional infrastructure, it also encompasses digital connectivity through the Digital Silk Road. Investments in telecommunications. Internet infrastructure and digital services aim to enhance connectivity and improve access to technology in participating countries. Projects like satellite networks and e-commerce platforms reflect China's ambition to establish itself as a leader in the digital economy. This technological aspect of the BRI raises questions about digital sovereignty, cybersecurity, and the potential for increased surveillance and control over information. The implications for data privacy and local technological ecosystems are significant as countries engage with Chinese technology firms. Discussion points. What are the risks and benefits of integrating Chinese technology into the digital infrastructure of BRI countries? How can participating nations balance the advantages of technological investment with concerns about cybersecurity and data sovereignty? In what ways might the Digital Silk Road shape the future of global digital governance and cooperation? Conclusion. The Belt and Road Initiative embodies a complex interplay of economic, geopolitical, and environmental factors that merit critical examination. As China continues to expand its influence through the BRI, understanding these dynamics will be essential for policymakers, scholars, and stakeholders in navigating the evolving landscape of global trade and international relations. 1. The Marshall Plan 1948-1952, officially known as the European Recovery Program. The Marshall Plan was a US-led initiative designed to aid Western Europe after World War II. The United States provided over $12 billion, approximately $130 billion in today's dollars, in economic assistance to help rebuild European economies, stabilize governments, and prevent the spread of communism. The program facilitated the recovery of war-torn nations, promoted trade, and established strong economic ties between the US and Europe, marking a significant moment in the establishment of the modern global economy. 2. The Panama Canal 1904-1914. The construction of the Panama Canal was one of the most ambitious engineering projects of its time, drastically changing global trade patterns. Initiated by the United States after France's failed attempt, the canal connected the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, significantly reducing the travel distance for maritime trade. The project not only facilitated quicker and more efficient shipping routes but also played a critical role in U.S. naval strategy and power projection in the Western Hemisphere, influencing the geopolitical landscape of the early 20th century. 3. The Silk Road 130 BC, 1453 CE. The ancient Silk Road was a network of trade routes that connected the East and West, facilitating not only the trade of silk, spices, and other goods but also the exchange of culture, ideas, and technologies. Established during the Han Dynasty of China, it became a vital conduit for commerce and communication for centuries, impacting the economies and cultures of the regions it connected, including China, Central Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. The Silk Road remains a historical symbol of globalization and cultural exchange. Future outlook: predictions for China's Belt and Road Initiative by 2025. As the Belt and Road Initiative (BRI) progresses into its second decade, it is poised to reshape global trade dynamics significantly by 2025. The following predictions outline potential developments based on current trends and strategic shifts within the initiative. 1. Expansion of infrastructure projects. By 2025, we can expect a substantial uptick in smaller-scale community-focused projects under the BRI. China has indicated a shift towards small and elegant projects that prioritize local benefits rather than large, expensive infrastructure. This strategic pivot aims to address criticisms regarding debt sustainability while enhancing local economies. Projects may include renewable energy installations, digital connectivity improvements, and transportation upgrades, particularly in developing countries. 2. Enhanced digital connectivity. Digital infrastructure will play a crucial role in the BRI's evolution. China will likely expand its investments in technological projects such as broadband networks, data centers, and satellite systems. This focus on digital connectivity will not only support economic growth in recipient nations but also bolster China's influence in the tech sector globally. By 2025, we may witness the establishment of numerous digital Silk Roads facilitating trade and information exchange across borders. 3. Increased focus on sustainability. The BRI's future will likely see an intensified emphasis on environmental sustainability. China has already introduced the green investment principles to mitigate ecological impact. By 2025, we can anticipate that new projects will increasingly incorporate green technologies and adhere to international standards for environmental protection. This shift will be crucial for improving China's image abroad and demonstrating a commitment to global sustainability goals. 4. Geopolitical tensions and strategic alliances. Geopolitical dynamics will continue to influence the BRI's trajectory. As the US and its allies counter China's initiatives through alternatives like the Build Back Better World B3W, competition for influence in developing regions will heighten. By 2025, we may see China solidifying partnerships in strategically important regions such as Southeast Asia, Africa, and Latin America, counterbalancing Western initiatives. However, increased scrutiny over debt relations and project transparency may lead to strained ties with certain countries. 5. Financial innovations and debt restructuring. China will likely adapt its financing strategies to address growing concerns over debt sustainability among BRI partners. By 2025, we may see more flexible financial arrangements, including mechanisms for debt restructuring and the introduction of low-interest loans tied to specific development goals. Such innovations could help alleviate the financial burdens on countries struggling with repayment, thereby maintaining China's influence without fostering resentment. 6. Integration of regional economies. The BRI will likely facilitate greater regional economic integration, particularly in Asia and Africa. By 2025, we can expect improved trade routes and logistical networks that enhance connectivity between countries. This integration will foster intra-regional trade, reduce reliance on Western markets, and create new economic corridors that support mutual growth. Countries participating in the BRI may increasingly collaborate on joint ventures and trade agreements, further solidifying their economic ties. 7. Shift in focus to health and humanitarian aid. In response to the COVID-19 pandemic and its aftermath, the BRI may expand its scope to include health infrastructure and humanitarian initiatives. By 2025, we could see China investing in medical facilities, vaccine distribution networks, and disaster relief efforts in BRI countries. This focus would not only address pressing health challenges but also strengthen China's soft power and enhance its image as a global leader in humanitarian efforts. 8. Technological competition and standards setting. As the BRI continues to expand, China is likely to leverage its technological advancements to set standards in emerging markets. By 2025, we may witness increased competition with Western firms in sectors such as telecommunications and renewable energy. China's export of technology, including 5G networks and artificial intelligence, will be a focal point with the potential to shape regulatory frameworks in partner countries. 9. Evolving relationships with global institutions. China's approach to global governance may shift as it seeks to navigate criticisms of the BRI. By 2025, we could see China engaging more actively with international institutions to promote a narrative of mutual benefit and collaboration. This engagement could involve reforms to align the BRI with sustainable development goals and greater adherence to international norms, thereby enhancing its legitimacy. 10. Long-term strategic vision. Ultimately, the BRI is likely to remain a cornerstone of China's foreign policy, serving as a tool for expanding its global influence. By 2025, we can expect a more refined strategic vision that balances economic interests with geopolitical goals. The BRI will continue to serve as a platform for China to assert its role as a leader in global trade development and diplomacy. Conclusion. By 2025, the Belt and Road Initiative is set to transform global trade dynamics through targeted infrastructure investments, enhanced digital connectivity, and a commitment to sustainability. While challenges remain, such as geopolitical tensions and debt sustainability, the initiative's adaptability and strategic focus could solidify China's position as a key player in the evolving global landscape. The next few years will be crucial in determining how the BRI navigates these complexities and whether it can achieve its ambitious goals without compromising the interests of its partner nations.